Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're on episode 4 of What If Civilization Started Over. In the last episode, we saw a new, pretty powerful power of Canaan. We saw expansion in the Gaul and Francia. We saw France split into 3 nations. We saw the discovery of the Republic of Ireland. We saw expansion into this Balkan area. We saw this nation gain independence. But yeah, just like I was saying, last episode we just saw expansion. Please consider liking and subscribing. It would help out a ton. We're on the road to 50 subscribers. And yeah, let's get in this video. And well, we see this brown successor state here. They kind of have a lot of the royal bloodline. And so they're going to start to expand a bit more south, I guess. As they're going to be able to start to do this. As they're quickly going to start to just expand. As there is a lot of stuff that is clear for the taking. And yeah, they're going to expand a fair amount, so is this one. As a group of people, they're going to eventually discover all about civilization. And there are tons of diseases across here. So them and what is known as the Greater Iranian Tribal Movement are all going to decide to integrate into a massive nation. And it is a very loose confederation, as it will of course be probably the biggest empire yet. And I mean massive. More massive than the Lord Keeper Fate massive. Oh, it's just a little nation. It's not a scary nation. Oh, it's a bit bigger now. Still not a threat. Oh, what is it planning on doing? Oh no, it's expanding. It can't expand that much more, can it? Okay, please stop, Iran. We get it. You're a big nation. Just please stop, Iran. No, please stop, Iran. I told you to stop it. No, 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 stop, Iran. Stop expanding. You're too massive. Well, hopefully that's it. Not, of course, just had to expand. Well, this actually gives these two a reason to expand. And, yeah, welcome to the Iranian Tribal Confederation. Cool. Capital! There's its capital. It's a pretty big nation. But, well, I think a nation may want some revenge. India, they kinda really need it. They're going to invade down like that. As they're going to do a very okay, yeah, they're actually doing really well, surprisingly. It's like this nation is, powerful, which it kinda is, kinda isn't. But they're going to be able to strike down to here. And this is when you kind of realize that these tribal confederations aren't the strongest. And let's look at a treaty. Okay, surprisingly, it didn't collapse this tribal confederation, but they will lose this land, as it's just more of a hassle to deal with. But Iran is still a powerful nation, but it will get jumped one more time by Caucasia, what got jumped last episode, looking something like this. I think land. And yeah, we still have this massive place. But how about we go exploring? Don't you just love exploring? Gonna be from Naples, I think, yeah. And they're going to link up with Egypt, as they're also going to explore a bit more into the Mediterranean. But the Western Mediterranean is kinda not the best place. As I know I don't show it, but there are tons of little city states Cross, these are just like the important ones. Like there's probably a city-state right here, but they're too tiny to show. We're going to continue to see them exploring as they're going to do about like that. As they're going to turn around, as they don't really want to go deep into these unknown lands. As Iberia is kind of known as the deaths of explorers, as people from the Teal Nation has tried to explore in, as this is as far as any of them were able to go. But they think they're in a big lake until they're going to discover this. And they're like, okay, so we kinda are in a lake, kinda, but not. And so the Napoli people are going to be like, okay, well, that's noted, as almost the entire Mediterranean coast has been discovered. And yeah, we're going to actually continue to see expansion as Naples kind of was thinking, okay, well, how about we kind of just show everyone that we've reached what is known as the edge of the world. They kind of think, they know it's round, but they think it loops around somewhere like here. And so, since they think they're at the edge of the world, they think that they need to move their capital. Trying to find a spot they can move it to. They don't want to move it into Africa. They're going to move it into a very important trade city, as their old capital will get burned from these people later, and we're going to see a war, known as the Italian Wars. They're going to go actually kind of good, as this is where their city would have been burned. But it's kind of just a stalemate here, as we're going to more of just see them not being able to expand, and we're going to see a new nation form. A really, really newish nation. And it is known as Dalmatia. Dalmatia is like, okay, we don't really want to be a part of you. You see, you're kind of weak, as you had almost every opportunity to win the war. And so we're just going to let you do everything on your own. Now, this nation is independent, as let's do capitals. And yeah, we're going to finally start to see more exploration across the Mediterranean, as they're going to be able to explore all of this, as they will soon discover the vast silver mines in this region, which Naples is looking at very, very hungrily. These two nations are finally going to connect, as there's going to be a bit of an exploration into these places. They don't really like them though, they're kind of cold. As across the world, we're finally going to see more and more nations start to explore a lot more, as Europe is becoming pretty of a hot spot. This place is kind of cold and deserty and all that. They don't really like it. But there will, of course, be exploration all across, as we're going to see them get into about here. And tons of new nations are going to start to form up, as this is kind of where the Alps end in real life. Actually, we can look at our cool little terrain map. See, yeah, we kind of have it. And let's look at all these new nations that will exist in Greater Europe. Okay, this is a lot to look at as the new map of Europe. First of all, we seen the blue team expand into Poland and Belarus. We saw this nation, we saw Denmark. They're kind of all over the place. You expanded southwards, you kind of expanded here. We saw these nations become a thing. We saw you tap into the great oil or silver deposits. No real expansion over here. The red team expanded, the pink team. As both of these nations no longer really consider themselves, I guess, one of the Ukrainian nations, as you kind of more consider yourself your own culture, as the red and blue team are both falling off as they're no longer really too much of an important power, as this military dictatorship and all that, they're kinda no longer relevant, as we're starting to see this nation pull away from relevancy. And so a nation's going to try to become relevant once again by invading Bulgaria. This nation's been here since day one. Sad to see them lose a war, but they're not going to die because, yeah. But we are going to see this purple team destroy much of their important areas like that. And after the fall of this nation, we're going to see the rest of them decide to join up with this nation that's really not important. And it's sad to see one of the First Nations fall, but it's kind of needed. Going back to the Iranian, to this, we are going to see one last event in this video, and that is them here, the old empire hearing about how civilization started very down south. They're going to follow the maps as they are very accurate, actually exploring into the desert as they're finally going to reach where they started. And hearing about this, they feel like they're the ones who finally discovered where civilization began. And they are going to actually annex most of this land, kinda just looking at some of the oldest maps of the empire, as they're going to look like this. And we're just going to do a bit more touches around up here, as perhaps I would assume they would explore more of this Nile, making it thicker, maybe a village here or there. And I think this is where I'm going to end this video off. Please consider liking and subscribing, and we will see you guys in the next episode, episode 5.